Yeah, so an option for you to commute around in Kingston is the Kingston Public Transit, and they have a deal with Queens where if you're a Queens student, you can get free access to any Kingston bus. So you can take advantage of that if you live far away from Queens.
And for the Queens, nothing is far because this Kingston itself is in a 5 kilometer radii. So if you are living around 3 kilometer or 4 kilometer, everything is connected by bus. So you don't have to worry about that. I'm not living close to the campus and I'm living far. Everything is connected with the bus. It's just a half an hour ride.
No. Yeah. Maybe just one thing to mention here is that the transit in Kingston is not as frequent or as nice as the one in Toronto, for example. So
exactly.
It might take a while to move.
You might want to download the transit or Google Maps in your cell
You
phone.
probably want to check which bus transit goes to your house.
Yes.
If you're living there.
It's gonna be a approximate value, but I would say, let's say your monthly rent is around $700, and then for example, your internet and your cell phone data plan is around like $100 per month. For the grocery, I would say $500. So technically, for living, it's around like $1,500 per year.
That's a good estimate.
Per month.
But it varies. Like if you are like accommodation is around $650 or $750, and usually for the grocery it takes around $250 to $300 per month because that's enough, depending upon your diet, of course. And the other expenses, like if you're going out for the downtown Kingston, those restaurants are quite expensive. Per meal it can cost you around $30 to $40. So usually my expenses is around $1,200 per month, and it's sufficient for one person to enjoy a life in Kingston.
One thing I will add, as to being an international student here, you have to remember that food cooked is always cheaper than food eaten outside. So you will have to learn some cooking before you come to Canada.
Yes,
or learn how to make dishes at least.
Yeah, you can. Go ahead.
Okay, because that's also, I think, a tricky business. And I feel like it works similarly with phone plans.
Yeah.
The more you fight for and the more you are willing to change providers, the best or the better packages you're gonna get, offered. So if you are willing to spend time on a call just to, deal or get a deal, a nice deal, it's worth doing that. And yeah, right now I'm paying about $70 for like a 360 megabits per second connection, which is pretty good with Kojiko.
It's Kojiko. Oh,
Kojiko. Yeah, and I've been with them for a few years now. So I because I call every year and try to get a better deal, they are willing to do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And if we are talking about the deals, then there are a lot of network providers. Like they give you a package with a phone. Like if you want iPhone, they can give you with that package, and you have to just give it depend upon the plan, $50 a month or $70 a month. The only con side of that is they have a 2 years of partnership. You cannot you cannot break the deal. So you have to be a loyal customer for themselves for 2 years. So if you are going for those opportunities, just think before it, because if in between you plan to go in any other countries or to your home country, you have to pay that amount. You cannot get rid of those things.
Okay, so I definitely feel like the workload in Canada is a lot less stressful as to back in my home country, but at the same time you are expected to meet your goals at a certain period of time, and most supervisors here know what they want and they know what to expect from a PhD student. So you will be expected to give in good quality work, but you will not be expected to give in as much work as you are used to back home.
Uh, Based on my experience, here the thing is different in a sense, like you not only work on a project alone, there are a team that works with you along with your supervisor. So if there is a project, there will be a team that is beneficial for you. Means different kind of expertise come together and they work together. Compared to a place from where I came, like in India, I did my project alone. That was quite stressful. So on comparing, this is the a good advantage of doing the project in Canada and or like carrying out your research work.
Good.
I agree. I think one of the nice things about the Canadian culture here around studies and work is that they like to balance their lives. So yes, there's time to do everything, work, study, and whether on your own or with teams. But then there's also the time for having fun and having other activities, within your daily life.
Working with a supervisor, so it's pretty important to actually first touch on some points with professor first, because you want to tell them you are here to get involved, you are here to actually work hard to get paid. And one suggestion I would say is actually to keep communication with supervisor and also with professors, and keep your daily or even keep your weekly updates to them, and let them know you actually have some progress with your work and also have some updates on what you're gonna do in the future. So keep touch on with any supervisor, any professor you're gonna work with, and it's pretty important.
Good.
Okay. So one of the things I'll suggest or advise is that you should know what your supervisor is expecting of you and know what particular requirements they have. So for example, you could be a graduate student and do research, but sometimes you can go along certain tangents where you're interested in a specific topic, whereas your supervisor is probably interested in something else altogether. So you should always be in touch with the supervisor and discuss your project goals and make sure that you're attending to what your supervisor is expecting of you instead of going on your own research tangent.
Yeah, so first of all, I know from my work at the Center for Teaching and Learning that TA-ships are different within departments. So you could have a program in which you have to TA and your funding package includes that. In some other cases, it's not included and it's optional. So if you have the opportunity, yes, you should go for it and get the extra money. Plus, yeah, it's a very good experience, of course, to practice that teaching environment. And then from there you can have some experience and go for other higher positions like a teaching fellowship, which also pays well, and it's obviously good experience for in the future if you wanted to move into academia. So yeah, and I guess one of the good things about Queen's is that we have the Center for Teaching and Learning, which supports TAs in all the things that they have to do.
Good. Anything to add?
It's a good way for the personal development, and the only thing that I would like to add, like TA is not limited to your department, that it's not mandatory you have to do your department TA. You can go on any other department at the Queen's University if you are interested. Like if you are interested in computer science, you can do the TA in their department as well. So it's very flexible. Based on your interest, you will get the TAship, and it's good for your personal growth and for your academic as well.
Okay. Have you ever TA'd?
Yes, I do. In last winter term, in winter 2022, I was able to TA just for an undergrad course because I'm still an undergrad student. And being an undergrad TA is kind of like not that important compared to graduate TA because they actually are the TAs who gonna mark the course. But we just here to actually, offer some help. And I remember that course is actually for MATLAB coding. And based on my coding experience, I can, provide some tips and some suggestions to them. And it's pretty fun. And actually, I learned a lot, especially for my speaking skills and also professional speaking skills. You can actually, meet some new friends there, and most importantly, you can actually gain some serious advice from SUS. And actually, it's so important to you to actually learn, especially during your future studies. So remember the name SUS, S-A-S-S.
Oh yeah, I guess I'll mention that. So when you're picking out your courses as a graduate student, make sure to pick the courses which are related to your research and which you think will help you progress in your research field. And also remember that you can take courses from other departments too. You're not limited to your own department while you're taking courses.
Good point. Good point.
Like as a PhD student, I can say, in your first sem, don't take a lot of course. Like people generally take 3 or 4 courses. It's get hectic because you have to be oriented on your research. So one step at a time, take 1 or 2 courses in a semester and try to focus on your research studies.
Yeah, I agree. And I think once you have an idea of what you want to do in your research, it's better to wait for those courses that are available within your department or other departments, because there's options for that, or even off campus. There's the military college where you can also take courses, and that's pretty nice to have as well. So yeah.
For the grocery, there are a number of stores like Food Basics is there, Fresco is there. Everything is available in Kingston Transit. You can easily go and buy groceries. The one I would suggest, like No Frills is there, which is the cheapest market for the groceries. You can have a variety of food, like if you're going for the South American food, Asian food, or any kind of food, everything is available there.
Yeah, we have plenty, but I feel like the main, discounts that you can find are through deals. Sometimes they vary store to store, so it is important to track those deals, and there's apps for that. Apart from that, there's plenty of mini supermarkets for Asian foods, Latin foods, and once you miss, those special foods from your country, it's nice to have them. Obviously, it's not, as good as what you would have in your home country, but it's close enough. So, yeah.
How about you? Where do you shop?
I would say Metro and Food Basic, right? That's the 2 most common one I normally do. But I do know there's one pretty far away. It's called the Fresco, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's called Fresco. But I don't know whether we have a student discount there. We don't have it?
No.
But the general price is kind of low compared to Metro and Food Basic. And sometimes, but I definitely say they closer the Metro and Food Basic, like around the university district, is around like 800 meters. But sometimes if you want to buy something, for example, you want to buy some like protein, some food, you can go to there's one grocery store, I don't know the name. It's
called
located
Grocery Checkout.
Yeah, it's inside the ARC, the Queen's Athletic and Recreational Center. But the price is kind of expensive because that's the closest thing we can do in grocery in Queen's University.
Good.
Okay, so I can add something. So there are 2 stores which you can go to in the city, which is called Metro and Food Basics, and they have student discounts. So Metro has a student discount every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I think Food Basics has student discounts on Tuesdays. So you can use those, take advantage of those discounts. And another good budget store is Giant Tiger. So they have pretty cheap prices if you're not buying vegetables and fruits. And if you want to go far off, or you're willing to go far off, there's Costco, which is very cheap if you have their membership.
I can start with the option that I have now, which is TD Bank. For some reason, I opened my first account with them, and since then I have been using it because it has a free student account, which means you don't have to pay any monthly fees or anything like that. There's plenty of options now with various banks that are similar to that. I guess the good thing about TD is that you get, to use some savings accounts and also for free. In my case, that I'm paying my mortgage, it helps me balance or manage all my banking with the same account, so that's useful. And then, if you have a credit card, which is good to have in Canada, it's good to use it and to build some credit, so you are able to buy some things that you wouldn't be able to buy with just a debit card.
Yes. Well, I won't promote any bank, but Queen's University, all the ATM banks are of CIBC. Like if you are looking to get easily access of any cash, then I would prefer CIBC.
Yeah, moving into Canada, I first opened an account with an Indian bank, which is called ICICI. And the advantage I had there, I remember, was that it was very easy to convert my money from India to Canada. And they have a lot of good offers for Indian students, which is, I think other Indian banks offer this as well.
That's nice. So the first bank I opened was Scotiabank, because one huge advantage for Scotiabank is actually if you use the credit card, you can actually get free movies, right? Free movie points. And I'm a big fan of movie. Also, I would say Cineplex is much better compared to Landmarks because the screen is so better. And I think I would say you can get a free movie, generally speaking, in my opinion, is one free movie per month, which is pretty cool. And also, especially right now, we have a Doctor Strange. And I just went to Cineplex and watched it for free, and it's really nice.
Yeah. Great, thanks.
But I would say it's not really that difficult to actually find one. For example, if you want to, get some more money, daily or weekly, you can go to some restaurant, say, hey, I want to work here, can I do a part-time job here? And they will say, okay, let's do an interview. And if they say yes, you can do. And also, I heard some of my Canadian friends, they say they can actually work here, but I don't know whether that's necessary for an international student, because sometimes you have to balance a lot between work and studies. So yeah.
I guess I have an option, because I know some friends that are working remotely, which counts as off campus because they don't have anything to do with Queens, right? And these are tutoring positions, everything online. They just mark or read essays, provide feedback, very well paid. And I feel like it's pretty nice and flexible in terms of the times that you can work. So I would recommend that if anyone wants to make some extra money.
One more thing, these off-campus jobs are not limited to the grocery stores or any restaurant. You can work on your consultancy firm, if something is related to your domain, if I'm from computer engineering and I'm interested in programming, I can work for any consultancy firm part-time. There is a limitation, you can give your 20 hours per week, so it's also a good that adds to your CV. So it completely depends, like where you want to work. It's completely open, and supervisor supports those things, like if you are working on your domain.
Yeah, I think it's important to check with your supervisor first
Yeah.
before taking any extra job.